Your personal development matters the most from where you are right now. Bring your career into new heights with our affordable and quality in-demand virtual training programs designed just for you. Give your career a boost with a course or a training from Stellar Training Consultancy Services and join thousands of professionals from different walks of life in a learning and development session that fascinates you, motivates you, challenges you to learn new things that you'll use forever in a career you'll love. Find the right training for you today here at Stellar Training Consultancy Services, bringing excellence to professionals.
Stellar Training Consultancy Services Vision and Mission. Vision. Stellar Training Consultancy Services envisions to provide quality, affordable, reliable, accessible, and innovative training programs in the Philippines, thereby increasing global competitiveness and career growth of every individual. Stellar Training Consultancy Services ultimately desires to provide learning and development to all communities and professionals while ensuring both professional and personal growth by the end of every program. Mission. Stellar Training Consultancy Services is dedicated and committed to provide high-quality, accessible, and professional development opportunities in the form of training, webinar, seminars, workshop, or conference. Stellar Training Consultancy Services training programs were created out of a strong passion, a shared vision, and a ceaseless commitment to making learning easily accessible from anywhere in the Philippines.
Panalangin bago magsimula ang pagpupulong. Panginoong Hesus, sinabi mo, kung saan may 2 o 3 nagkakatipon sa ngalan ko, kapiling nila ako. Panginoon, Inihahandog namin sa iyo ang pagpupulong na ito. Gabayan mo kami sa aming pagtatalakayan at tanglawan mo ng liwanag ng Espiritu Santo ang aming mga isip upang makita namin ang naaayon sa iyong kalooban. Basbasan mo ang mga gagawin naming pagkilos at patnubayan kami sa bawat hakbang. Nagtitiwala kami na magiging maayos at mabunga ang aming pagtitipong ito, sapagkat narito ka sa aming piling. Amen.
Alright, not gonna wait for 3, 2, 1. But anyways, hello sa inyo lahat. Good afternoon and welcome to our training session for this afternoon. And of course, for anything else, can you all confirm if you can see and hear me clearly? I'm seeing a few familiar names and faces here. Thank you all so much for the thumbs up. It's amazing. Hello, Sir Nathaniel. Nice to see you again po. And of course, to everyone else that have already been with SSCS. So thank you so much po. Sir Rainier, hello po. All right, so to those who doesn't know me yet, my name is Helmer Chong, and I'm working as a team lead client services, working for a market research agency. And yeah, by the way, to those who doesn't have their names reflected as they've used POSA registration, kindly have them edited because someone from our team will be going in and out of the meeting and we'll be checking the attendance spot. So if you could edit your name and reflect your full name, that would be a-okay, right? Okay, so how are you all doing po on this fine, what is it? Mini Friday, or I would say Friday Eve, or in layman's term, it's Thursday. How are you all doing po? Yeah, you all good? Not so good. Fine, sir. Si Sir Nathaniel is fine. Sir Rainier also good. It's wonderful. Well, hopefully, okay, so we have already our session pass who's already in the call. We'll be checking those attendance, okay? So yung mga ano po, yung mga pangalan po natin diyan. So hopefully okay po yung mga that is actually your name na ginahit po natin sa registration. So we won't, be placing you as absent, okay? So yeah, I'm glad that you're all doing good, doing fine. That's wonderful. And with that, let us begin po sa ating training session for this afternoon. And do let me know if you can already see the material. Thumbs up would do, or you can just send a message at the chat box, either of which is fine. There we go. Thank you for the thumbs up. Wonderful. Okay. All right, so this is managing workplace interruptions and office courtesy training. So this is a very important training because here we will tackle all about all kinds of interruptions and of course what it means to have courtesy in the office. And yeah, I think everyone, especially working in the office, should really take this one. All right. And I'm glad that you all decided to, yeah, take this up. So of course, training rules po. Number one being please turn on your camera for the first 20 minutes of training for attendance purposes. So it would be great if you can have your cameras turned on, if you have one, or if your internet can take the load. Of course, in the Philippines, is not that great in terms of internet speed. So if it does affect your, the connectivity, then might as well have them turned off. But still, would be great to see your beautiful, handsome faces, para ganahan tayong uh, like training. Anyways, number two, to those who can, turn on the cameras and at least wear proper clothing, since it's already recorded for quality and management purposes. All right. And then number three, let's all be attentive and be interactive with your discussion. So if there's anything you would like to say, like an idea, an experience, or an insight, feel free in doing so po. We have, our microphones, we have our chat box that you can utilize po. Feel free in choosing whatever you like, and feel free cutting me off at any point should you want to say anything at all related to our topic. And then, of course, number four, we're all professionals here, working or not, of course. Then yeah, let's all respect each other. Okay, so yun po yung mga rules natin, very easy to go by, right? Okay. So off we go po sa ating learning outcomes. Number one, you'll all be able to identify the various causes and effects of workplace interruptions on employee productivity and mental well-being. Number two, you'll all be able to differentiate among the types of office interruptions, namely in person, we have digital, and we have environmental, and with real-world examples. Of course, the number three, we have participants, you'll be able to evaluate which types of interruptions are most disruptive in your specific work environment and propose appropriate mitigation strategies. And then lastly po, you will all be able to demonstrate appropriate professional behavior that promotes respect, collaboration, and a positive work atmosphere that everyone so desire. Okay, so yun po yung mga mga outcomes po natin, and hopefully we can learn more than what's specified there. And moving on sa ating next page, we'll have the question that I'll be asking you all. Now, if you could eliminate one type of workplace interruption forever, what would it be and why? So think about the type of interruption po na nangyari po sa workplace. Ano po yung bagay dyan na gusto nyo pong mawala forever? What is it and why? Now, if you ask me, what would be that workplace interruption na gusto kong mawala forever? It's that, it would be yung mga unnecessary or mga poorly timed na mga messages or mga pings like, got a sec, or are you free? Are you free for a call? Parang ganyan. Why? Because whenever I receive those kind of messages, they instantly, break my focus immediately. Like even if the actual matter is minor, even if hindi naman nila kaseryoso yung pag-uusapan, because research shows, as what I've researched, is that it takes about 20 to 25 minutes to fully regain yung concentration mo after an interruption. So you are at this momentum, you keep focusing on your work, and then all of a sudden may mag-chat sa'yo, it could be sales, it could be accounting, it could be finance, or whoever, and says na, do you have a second? Immediately parang you are going at 100 kilometers per hour and then bigla ka magbo-brakes. That's how it feels like. And then it would take for a person to regain yung kanyang full focus about 20-25 minutes from that interruption. So of course, it's just one among many others na mga ganyan. So hopefully if a person can just set a call with you and explain what the agenda is, at least hindi ka mag-overthink as to what's the meaning all about. Okay, there we go. Let's start first with Sir Rainier taking unnecessary things. Talking unnecessarily. Okay, there. Just misan. Yep, I agree with that. It in terms of Eisenhower's matrix, ito yung mga tinatawag nating quadrant 4 or eliminate or di kaya these are non-urgent and non-important na mga task. Right? Gossiping sometimes nakakasira not only the focus on work, performance, but a person as well. Exactly if you're, defaming a person, talaga nakakaano po yan. Nakaka-apekto, especially when you hear na ikaw yung tinitira. So, maritesting, yeah. So, to sum up everything na sinabi nila, Nathaniel, Multitasking, exactly. Anything else na gusto niyo pong ma-eliminate forever? Wag naman sana si office multitask yung i-eliminate natin, ano? Yeah? Anything else? I think all of you guys, um, are all coming to one point. It's, unnecessary na mga gossips, the grapevine, so to say, or, marites nga, passing the responsibility. Yeah, that also too. So, not being able to be accountable on their own task and passing the responsibility to someone else. Noisy environment. Yes, exactly. That's part of yung mga environmental natin na disruptions. But yeah, indeed, could be siguro yung mga, like mga construction or could be anything else. Technical problem po. Yeah, well, we can never remove that forever. But yes, if there's a way na marami po natin yan, then yes, I agree. So sa amin kasi, we can't access yung mga tools namin, yung mga software namin without the office na the VPN. So we won't be able to access them kapag wala kaming connection. So there are times na talaga maglolo ko yung aming global VPN and then we won't be able to do our jobs accordingly. Even if you restart your laptop a couple of times, even if you disconnect yung VPN mo, hindi pa rin talaga makakapasok. So yeah, Angelia, I'm with you on this. Corruption. Okay, corruption in terms of what? The budget, the time, could be anything. But corruption is not only focusing on the money, just like what's happening with the, I don't want to mention anything about political, but the ghost projects, so to say, diba? But yeah, corruption goes way beyond monetary things. It also extends to, corruption of time. Yung mga, mga long breaks sa CR, mga long smoke breaks and so on, mahabang mga lunch breaks and whatnot. Those are other forms of corruption as well. Ms. Richel, we have unnecessary meetings po. Yeah, that one too. Yung mga meetings na hindi naman dapat sana merong meetings, but could have been an email or could have just been a group chat na message addressed to everyone. But yeah, I'm also with you on this. Emergency meetings, yeah, that one too. Okay, so thank you all so much for sharing your thoughts here. I'm glad na meron tayong mga common experiences. But yeah. All right, so off we go with understanding office interruptions, and this will be our main topic now. Now, what are interruptions po? Of course, interruptions in the workplace are unexpected events or distractions that break an employee's focus, reduce productivity, or delay tasks. Now, these can come in many forms, in person, digital, or environmental. So indeed po, interruptions in the workplace are of course yung mga unexpected events or mga distractions that pull employees away from their primary tasks. So what it does is that they break our focus, it reduces our productivity, and can create delays in meeting our deadlines, right? Now, these interruptions, as we all know, can come in many forms, as mentioned there. We have in person, like for example, our colleagues dropping by our desk without prior notice, impromptu na mga conversations, or mga unscheduled na mga meetings that, hey, kamusta yung ano mo? Ganyan, mga. So you are already preparing your stuff, you're already going to start work, and then comes your friend na, I'm sure na meron siyang maayos na intent, but it's just that we can't turn them down in terms of, whenever they're going to start a conversation because it might cause some personal issues. So yeah, ganyan, in person. Digital, of course, mga instant messages, mga emails, or mga notifications that demand immediate na mga attention. Or, as what Mr. Richel said earlier, yung mga technical problems. Right? Miss Angelina pala, technical problem. Yeah, exactly. Mga glitches or mga slow internet or in whatever form in terms of digital, then yes. And of course, here we have environmental, which is of course yung mga background noise, mga phone calls, or yeah, sudden technical issues. So it seems like, yeah, so something it also translates to environmental yung technical issues. So even small interruptions, we all know, may seem harmless at first, but they accumulate over time, right? Studies suggest po that it can take around, again, several minutes to refocus after an interruption, which means frequent disruptions can significantly impact overall efficiency and our work quality. It's like what I mentioned, kapag when you're focusing at work and then suddenly may mga interruption, it would take for a person an average of 20 to 25 minutes for them to really, get back into business and to try to focus again on what they're doing. And if that's just one interruption, it will be much more difficult for us to continue back working, at least yung full focus natin, if there are tons more na mga, interruptions. So then moving over to the next page, we have here the statistics in terms of global and local insights. And according to our first statistic, according to a study by the University of California, it takes 23 minutes and 15 seconds to regain full focus after an interruption. So this is more specific na. Instead of the 20 to 25 minutes. So there they have timed, not sure how many respondents there were, but indeed it's around 23 minutes and 15 seconds. And next we have here in a survey by JobStreet, 42% of Filipino employees working from home reported that household distractions negatively affected their productivity. And the study suggests that one of which nagiging interruption daw po dyan is yung may kumakatok sa gate or may nagdo-doorbell and says Shopee or Lazada, ganyan, mga ganyang klaseng mga interruption, right? Or it could be your mga neighbor natin, or it could be your dogs, it could be all kinds of everything. So yeah, that's actually true to those who are working from home, and I can totally relate to this. And then number 3, we have the average Filipino employees receive 121 emails per day. Right. And yeah, and many belong to 3 to 5 chat groups in messaging apps, adding to the overload. Okay. So is it true? Do you receive around 121 emails per day? Or could it be more? Now, I'm gonna give you a snip kung ilang emails na na-receive ko today. Sorry about that. Not sure if you're seeing my Outlook. But yeah. Dali lang po just be very quick. Yun. Wait lang po. I will now be sending that. Ayun. So I have this amount of email to go through today. Can you all see the chat box? Yeah. So I have 5,086 emails to go through today. And yeah. So later on, I'm going to be checking all of that once I log in. And yeah, it's fun. Right. So for anyone here, yes, exactly. I 586. So Sir Rainier, not much emails. Good for you, sir. I'm glad you don't receive. But yeah, again, the average is around 121 emails per day. Right. So that is indeed true. As far as I know. Anyways, let's move on to the next page po. And here you will see the reasons to avoid office interruptions. And number 1 here, the reason is yung decrease na productivity as to why we need to avoid office interruptions. And as mentioned there, interruptions break focus and cause delays in completing tasks. It takes an average of 23 minutes to refocus after an interruption. So going back to the point, right? Because again, they have timed this according to the University of California. Na again, for a person to go back to their full focus, it would take around 20 minutes to go back to that, yung ating you being in the zone, as someone would say. Then number 2, we have increased error rates. So frequent disruptions, especially in data-sensitive jobs. For example, yung accounting, admin, or tech, increased mistakes due to broken concentration. And this is indeed true. Kasi in roles that demand accuracy, again, such as yung mga accounting, mga administration, or mga technical support, frequent disruptions raise the likelihood of mistakes, since broken concentration often leads to overlooked na mga details because you don't know possibly where to begin again or where to continue from your initial na pause. and you might be skipping on a few steps or missing on a few details because you need to go back to where you were, and that is mataas yung chances na magkaroon tayo ng mga errors. Then number three, we have delayed decision making. So interruptions during planning or meetings can cause confusion and delays in coming to clear decision. That is indeed true. Kasi nga, interruptions during planning sessions or mga meetings can derail yung ating mga discussions. So instead of focusing on the main agenda, you are getting sidetracked, as what someone would call it. And then instead now we need to focus on the main agenda, kumbaga napupunta sa ibang mga discussions. It can also cause confusion and even extend the time needed to reach yung mga clear and informed na mga decisions. So for any mga types of meetings that would go astray sa main topic, so the chairperson or the head of the meeting should be, of course, should get back on track and just siguro pwedeng pag-usapan sa mga next na meeting yung mga na-discuss natin o mga na-sidetrack tayo so that we can focus on the main agenda, especially if it's a huddle, meaning yung mga at the beginning of the day lang, reserved for 15 to 30 minutes. And if it goes beyond an hour, then you know nakakaapekto na siya sa natin, sa ating schedule throughout the day. Okay? Then number four, we have employee stress and burnout. So constant interruption create pressure and mental fatigue, especially in fast-paced sectors like BPOs or government offices. Because indeed, that is true kasi mga constant interruption can indeed create a sense of pressure. It can even cause mental fatigue and even frustration for the employees. Now, this is especially evident sa mga, as mentioned there, diba, yung mga fast-paced sector, mga fast-paced na mga environment, like mga BPOs or mga government offices, where employees already handle high workloads and strict na mga timelines. Then number five, you have disrupted workflow. Breaks in workflow can affect team coordination, particularly in tasks that require collaboration and step-by-step execution. Kasi alam po natin kapag yung workflow natin is interrupted, especially one requiring a step-by-step collaboration, it impacts not just yung individual, but of course the entire team. Nagka-create siya ng mga bottlenecks or if not, mga coordination issues. And again, these are just some of the reasons why we need to avoid office interruptions. And to continue further with 6 to 10, we have poor time management. So time wasted addressing unimportant or avoidable interruptions could have been spent on critical tasks or deadlines, especially if you have mga urgent tsaka important tasks. If you're following Eisenhower matrix na prioritization methodology, is that lahat ng mga tasks na sa quadrant 1 should all be done within a specific day. And if you have a lot of tasks falling under quadrant 1, then talagang nakakaapekto siya, nakaka-cause siya ng frustration, nakaka-cause siya ng mental fatigue because of all the deadlines that you need to adhere to on that particular day. And kapag marami tayong mga interruptions, then it would really affect yung ating being able to adhere to the strict timelines. Okay? And then number 7, we have reduced job satisfaction. So employees feel less fulfilled and more frustrated when they can't complete their work without constant disruptions. And I think everyone else here can agree na, indeed employees will feel less fulfilled and more frustrated kapag merong mga constant disruptions, which prevents us or, them from completing their work efficiently. And then number 8, we have unprofessional image. So for client-facing roles, so frequent interruptions during calls or meetings like mga background noise or mga walk-ins appear unprofessional. Lalo kapag hindi tayo nagamit ng mga noise cancelling na mga headphones or mga microphones, which could makaapekto sa ating flow ng ating conversation with the client and could affect our image in front of them. Because as we all know, di ba, lalo yung mga outbound calls na sila yung kusang kumatawag sa mga client nila. And if there's anything that causes interruptions, then talaga makakaapekto siya sa image, not just for the employee, but of course, the whole company or in general. The number 9, we have missed deadlines. So tasks that are repeatedly paused or postponed due to interruptions often pile up, resulting in missed deadlines. So kapag may mga tasks tayo na napapause and all of them are going to pile up on top of each other and rendering us not being able to do everything all at once, and if not being able to again adhere sa kanyang mga, of course, mga deadlines niya. So that's why I really suggest everyone here to really look up yung Eisenhower. This is what I'm always mentioning sa mga trainings ko, especially if it's in line with this mga topics, is to try and research about this one, the Eisenhower matrix. So again, what it does is it teaches us yung mga we can decide a task on two aspects, which is yung urgency tsaka yung kanyang importance. Now, all of your tasks can be subdivided into four categories. Quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4, with 1 being important and urgent, 2 being yung ating important but not urgent. We have 3, not urgent siya pero hindi siya important, and then number 4, we have not urgent and not important. So if you can use this one, you guys, then it really does change you being able to adhere sa mga deadlines po natin, and you are able to proactively address yung ating mga tasks that are hindi pa siya urgent but are indeed important. Because the thing with quadrant 2, yung mga not urgent but important, there will come a time na kapag lumipas yung mga ilang araw or a few months, they will fall under quadrant 1 na. Not only are they important, but they are also urgent na. So therefore, spend more time sa quadrant 2. So just sharing that with you. And then number 10 here, we have compromised confidentiality. So here, sensitive discussions or document work may be overheard or exposed unintentionally due to surprise na mga interruptions. Indeed, that's true. So kapag, again, may mga sensitive discussions tayo or mga confidential documents or mga document work may be unintentionally exposed or overheard due to sudden or mga unplanned na mga interruptions. So we need to time our discussions on these topics accordingly, and we need to reserve a venue, like for example, a conference room or your own private office, so that you can discuss these things in private now without any chance of interruptions. And it would be good to have your doors locked if it's a closed door meeting, especially if it's a confidential or sensitive one. Okay, so those are again the 10 reasons as to why we need to avoid mga office interruptions. And I'm sure na you all know how to avoid on this mga interruptions because you know your job well. But then again, let's discuss further by watching the video of workplace interruptions by 10 minutes of truth. And let me know po kapag wala pong audio. Mhm. Okay, for some reason, the video is not playing. Wait lang po ah. Let me just look into this for a sec. Hmm. Okay, it's not playing at all for some reason. Okay, so let's skip that for now so we can continue further sa ating topic. Sad, but yeah. Okay, so moving over to the types of office interruptions. And let's start first with the in-person interruption that what we have discussed in the first part of our discussion. And here it says that these are face-to-face disruptions that may come from coworkers, clients, or even superiors, often without scheduling or prior notice. So common in Philippine government offices, schools, and barangay halls due to yung pakikisama culture or maintaining harmony with your colleagues, with your friends. Filipino workers often feel obligated to entertain even non-work related drop-ins. Diba? Kasi nga, yung mga in-person interruptions are any, again, unplanned or mga face-to-face na mga interactions na nakakapag-disrupt sa ating workflow, or at least an employee's workflow. Now, this can again come from coworkers, mga managers natin, our clients, or even visitors who approach without prior notice. So example here would mean yung ating mga colleague asking for help with a report in the middle of your task, or it could be a client or a visitor walking in without an appointment to discuss an issue, or siguro yung ating manager stopping by your desk to check on your progress, even if it's unrelated to your current tasks. So these are just some of the examples na mga in-person interruptions. Now, why it usually happens in the Philippines? So number one, there as mentioned, is yung pakikisama culture natin. So this Filipino value, I would say, emphasizes maintaining harmony and smooth na relationships. So employees often feel compelled, if not obligated, to respond politely even to non-urgent matters. And of course, saying no can be seen as rude or disrespectful. Diba? Kapag ang mga chismisan or going out or siguro having lunch somewhere, and it would be hard for siguro most of the people to say no to this kind of things. So yeah, that's number one, pakikasama culture. Another thing could be like an open office layout in government offices or mga schools, yung wala tayong mga cubicle. And again, this is very common sa mga ano nga, mga government offices na you will only have a table and then the rest of the tables of your colleagues are just there that you can see na walang harang, walang cubicle or whatever. So again, it's easy for people to walk to your desk, making interruptions more frequent. And even if they don't have to drop by your desk, they just have to call your name, and there the interruption is already, happening, right? Or di kaya it's hierarchical na respect. So employees may feel obligated to immediately attend to superiors or mga senior staff regardless of the timing. So even if napaka-busy mo na, if your boss calls you for whatever reason may be, tatayo ka, punta ka sa table niya or sa kanyang office to discuss about certain kind of things. That kind of interruption. So of course, kapag may mga ganyan tayo, the usual impact on work is that, of course, it breaks our concentration and workflow. It can increase our stress when multiple na mga interruptions occur. And it can reduce our efficiency, leading to slower completion of our tasks. And of course, it may result in mistakes if employees are forced to multitask. So how do we manage this kind of things? Of course, politely set boundaries. So you can say like, can we discuss this after I finish this task? Or can we do it at a later time? Those kind of things. Or you can use mga visual cues like mga headphones or mga do not disturb na mga signs. So for us, sa sa mga remote employees, because I use yung Microsoft Teams, and it's easy for us to show to our colleagues that we are busy kasi meron kang mga statuses there. So you have active, you have away, you have be right back, you have out of the office, and you have yung do not disturb, or simply you're just busy. And from there, kapag nilagay mo yung ano mo into do not disturb, then kahit patawagan ka or someone will call you or message you, you won't be notified unless it's you have classified those as like urgent. So saka lang siya mag-show up. But if you have set it in that way na talagang wala, then Teams will also not show those mga notifications. And you can also schedule mga open door hours for colleagues who need help, minimizing yung mga random na mga drop-ins. So you can also do, if you have your own office, then indeed you can have that. Okay? So then, moving over to mga other examples of mga in-person interruption. So here we have yung mga managers interrupting without warning, di ba? Yung mga kusang lapit sa manager and then ask you to do something, mga non-urgent questions from sales, from your mga colleagues mo, or it could be your subordinates, interrupting during breaks, ganyan, or mga physical notifications or memos that could, of course, disrupt our workflow. Visitors or my external guests roaming in the office to discuss about a few things, maybe um, siguro going to give their feedback or going to buy something, or mga unplanned na mga group huddles, like as mentioned earlier sa mga answers po ninyo, yung mga emergency meetings or mga meetings na hindi naman dapat sa naging meeting, could have just been a message sa group chat, or the thing I've mentioned earlier, yung got a minute, got a sec, have you got a moment, na mga moments, ganyan. And of course, mga personal conversations, yung mga chismisan, maritesan, and so on, right? So those kind of in-person interruptions. The number two, we have digital interruptions. Of course, ito yung mga digital disruptions are, of course, growing with remote work, constant connectivity, and the use of multiple messaging apps. Digital disruptions are more subtle but can be persistent, often leading to task switching fatigue and reduced focus. Notifications and pop-ups can break deep work sessions and reduce creative or our analytical output. So indeed po, yung mga ganitong disruptions are disruption caused by electronic communication tools, mga apps or mga devices that constantly demand our attention. Could be social media, could be yung ginagamit natin na group channel, na hindi tayo naka-mute, and then it really has its notification sound. So of course, unlike yung ating mga in-person interruptions, they often appear on your screen or your phone and can be ignored. But of course, their persistence makes them just as disruptive. Lalo kapag meron talaga siyang sound. And here you will see the common sources of such. And here you will see number one, the frequent chat messages. Of course, ito yung mga constant messages from colleagues on Teams or Slack or yung Viber or mga messenger that actually demands immediate attention. Or it could be unfiltered work notifications. It could be alerts from your project management tools. If you're using Asana, Jira, or Monday.com, then those are some of which nakakapag-interrupt din ang ating workflow. Social media alerts, diba? Yung mga platforms like Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, which can tempt employees to go away from their work tasks because they are kumbaga na-attract sila to open up their feed and then check whatever yung mga notification na yan, and that in itself is yung mga digital interruptions. System or software updates, of course, mga automatic pop-ups that require restarts or mga manual intervention, and I have experienced this quite a lot of times na kung saan 11:30 na ng gabi, you're almost going to go out of work, and then meron kang Excel na sinasave, and then the system will prompt you to restart your laptop. So yeah, that really is a bummer na talaga nakakapag-interrupt ng ating mga workflow. And yeah, next we have yung app notifications. So mga calendars natin, mga reminders, or even mga news app na nagpa-pop up on our desktop or if not, our mobile. So kasama na rin dyan yung mga advertisement ng mga website na pupuntahan po natin, and long before yung mga maayos na security sa mga browsers natin, it would really pop up on your screen, and kapag mamalasan ka pa, it will inject yung mga virus na kahit anong X mo sa mga advertisement na yan, it will never be closed down, parang ganyan. And then we have yung multiple group chats, of course, kapag may mga discussion in teams or mga cross-team chat, groups that may not be relevant to everyone but still demand our reading. Perhaps ikaw na yung tatawagin or ikaw na yung tinatag dyan. So it would still be good for you to check whatever's being discussed, or perhaps you can help or whatever. But indeed, it does cause disruption. Mga unscheduled video calls, of course, mga email pop-ups here and there. So yeah, these are some of the examples of digital interruptions, which I think, all of us can actually relate to this. Okay, so of course, ano po yung mga strategies na pwedeng gawin natin dyan? Again, like what I mentioned, use do not disturb on or mga focus mode during deep work sessions. Or if not, kapag you can also set yung mga time blockers. So who here does it? Yung mga nagsaset ka ng meeting na ikaw lang yung participant sa calendar mo. And then it's sort of like for you to serve as a reminder that you need to focus on something. Meron ba tayong gumagawa ng ganyan? Time blockers po kasi tawag dyan. Again, you will create a meeting and then walang ibang participant kundi yung account mo lang. And then you will show as in a call or busy. And then pwede mo siyang pangalanan ng task na gusto mong gawin so that it will remind you that siguro at 10 to 11 a.m. You need to focus on this particular task. So this is what I usually do to remind me that, hey, I need to dedicate 1 hour of my day to just focus on this one. So I would highly suggest for you to use time blockers as well. Or again, yung mga status natin sa ating phone or sa mismong app on Do Not Disturb. Or DND, yung makikita mo dyan sa phone mo. And you can also set specific times to check your emails or mga messages instead of constantly monitoring yung mga messages mo. Or you can also put your phone on mute or mga notifications mo. Right? So this kind of things. Okay, then number 3, we have environmental interruptions. So these are interruptions due to the physical or infrastructural environment, often out of the worker's control. Right, so environmental disruptions or interruptions can result from external noise, weather disruptions, or shared space dynamics. So, a major concern in many Philippine provinces in unstable electricity or internet connectivity, especially during the rainy season or kapag may mga storm season, then indeed talagang maapektuhan yung ating mga devices. Kasi indeed, yung mga ganitong interruptions are, of course, that comes from physical, mga infrastructural, or mga surrounding environment. And these are usually outside sa ating control. So mga uncontrollable events po yan, but of course can significantly affect our focus and productivity. Okay? So let's move on the common na mga interruption that falls under this type. Of course, number one, there mga odors or mga smells. So mga food smell, mga cleaning chemicals, or mga nearby smoking areas can distract yung ating mga employees or even you yourself, Lalo yung mga nagdadala ng mga food or mga pungent na mga fruit within the office. So nakakapekto din po sa iba yan, right? Yeah. Number two, we have power interruptions or mga brownouts, a very common thing in the Philippines. Again, especially in the provinces, and during mga peak hours or mga rainy season, it would really halt your work or causing data loss. Okay? Lalo kapag hindi ka naka-auto-save sa mga Word mo, sa Excel, talagang napakahirap po. But then again, meron man ding auto-save na feature si Microsoft. So when you turn on your computer after bumalik yung electricity, do not close or do not delete kasi sinisave po ni Microsoft yan. I've experienced it a lot of times and I'm just happy na meron na siyang ganyang feature na it would really save your file even if hindi ka pa nakapag-save before, after the brownout. The next we have poor internet connectivity. Of course, very common thing. Slow or unstable na mga internet interrupts online meetings, cloud-based work, and communications. So, sino ba yung naka-converge dito? Or are you mostly using PLDT or Globe? Kasi yung Converge kasi minsan talaga nawawala siya lalo kapag may mga times na talagang magdi-disconnect siya. So even if you paid for their at least yung mga middle nila na packages, still talagang nawawala yung internet. But yeah, okay. So next we have cluttered or disorganized na mga work area. So these are crowded desks, mga shared storage, or mga messy spaces make it hard to concentrate. Okay, so kapag magulo yung ating mga workplace, ating mga work areas, then indeed nakakapag-cause siya ng mga interruptions. Of course, unexpected office maintenance, di ba? Yung mga plumbing, mga electrical work, mga renovations can create noise or prevent access to needed areas. Yung mga CR na hindi mo pwedeng puntahan and you have to go far sa other side ng mga So ganyan mga klaseng interruptions as well. Weather disturbances, of course, mga heavy rain, mga floods, or typhoons that can physically prevent employees from working or create mental distraction. Lalo yung mga pagbaha, that was caused by heavy rains and, ghost projects and stuff. And yeah, we have shared equipment overuse. Yan din. So mga printers, mga copiers, or mga communal na mga devices being unavailable when needed kasi nga shared siya. So if someone else is already using it, then it will prevent you from using those as well. And lastly, here we have uncomfortable work conditions. So poor lighting, it could be napakainit sa office, di ba? Madumi na yung aircon, so parang palagi nga pinagpapawisan even if you're inside the office. Or sitting can cause physical discomfort kasi pangit na yung office chair natin. Well, kumbaga hindi na siya pwedeng sandalan kasi sira na yung sandalan niya, which can of course reduce our focus and efficiency. So what happens, of course, it can happen for any sort of reason, depends on what ano yung example natin dyan. But then again, interruption tasks flow of course, nakakaapekto siya sa ating efficiency, Aside from that, yung mga infrastructure in many provincial areas can be inconsistent, such as yung electricity or ating internet. And kapag meron tayong open office na mga setups and shared spaces, increase exposure to noise and clutter. And kapag may mga climate factors pa tayo like mga typhoons or heavy rains are frequent and disruptive. So ano yung mga strategies natin dyan para maiwasan on some of them. So number one, I would suggest using noise canceling headphones or mga partitions to reduce the distractions. So if you're allowed to, or if your office is set up in such way na open kayo, then having headphones that has noise canceling na feature, that would be really great. And one thing na I could really suggest as a brand is yung Jabra. And of course, to those who are working in BPO would really know what I'm talking about. Kasi talagang matibay siya na brand, and yung kanyang noise canceling feature is, I would say, close to top notch, right? And of course, you can also organize your workspace to minimize clutter and optimize accessibility. So do arrange your workspace, wag hayaan nakalat lang kung saan. If you have your drawers with you, if it's locked, even better para hindi talaga siya mawala. And you can also back up your work frequently to prepare for power or mga connectivity interruptions. Or you can invest sa mga electric na mga generator that right now nasa mga 2,500 na lang, yung mga cheaper ones, but can make your laptop survive for up to 2 to 4 hours. And di naman siguro tumatagal yung mga power outage ng more than 2 hours, in most areas, then might as well investing on those. Lalo kapag meron siyang solar charging, it would be really good to have that. Or if you have UPS, pwede rin po yan. Nakakatulong din siya, lalo kapag meron tayong dedicated na UPS sa ating Wi-Fi. Then even if mawala yung internet or mawala yung power, then your Wi-Fi is still there. For as long as you have power sa laptop mo, sa phone mo, you'll be able to access internet. If hindi naman then involve yung weather, such as mga typhoon or heavy rain, that could also affect Wi-Fi. But if it's just a power outage, then generator would work. Okay, so there you go. Now let's move over to the causes and impact on productivity. So what are the causes of such? We have number one, the lack of boundaries. Again, yung open door policy misused. So this is one of the very common nga naging rason natin as to why we have this mga interruptions and here the impact, you will see that employees get disrupted frequently for non-urgent matters. So if you have open door policies, or mga approachable na work environments are often misused, leading to frequent or non-urgent na mga interruptions. Okay? So employees may feel obligated nga to immediately address mga drop-ins or yung mga na-drop by yung mga ibang colleagues talking about this and that, or could be asking you to do something, especially your bosses or other of your colleagues asking for a favor to do this and that. So even if you are in the middle of your focus tasks. Ganyan. Or it could be cultural norms, diba? Yung pakikisama, avoiding saying no because you could be, construed as rude, ganyan. So workers entertain interruptions to avoid offending others. Kasi Filipino workers often prioritize yung harmony and relationships over personal productivity. So di bale nang madelay yung mga task natin for as long as you can keep this harmony with your colleagues. Kasi it will be a huge problem kapag hindi tayo nakikisama. So yun yung naging ano rin natin, naging fear as to why we're afraid to say no, where we are afraid to, set our healthy boundaries sana. But yeah, that's indeed one of the things that causes us to be open to this type of interruptions. So saying no to a colleague, a client, or supervisor is avoided, which could then lead to constant disruptions. Okay? And the next one here, we have yung poor digital discipline. So checking Facebook or TikTok too often eats up yung work hours natin. And I think lahat naman din tayo, diba, always check our social media from time to time. But if you really focus on that alone, and you're not working anymore, then indeed nakakasira na siya sa ating workflow. So if you do excessive checking of your social media, such as Facebook or TikTok, and instant messaging apps, such as Messenger, it consumes our time and breaks our concentration. And notification from multiple platforms or mga multiple na mga apps can trigger frequent task switching, reducing our focus and our efficiency. Okay? And then number four, we have here shared workspaces. So of course, these are when noise from coworkers talking or calling clients distract others that are within the vicinity. Again, kapag mga open plan offices po tayo or meron tayong mga hot desking or mga communal na mga areas can expose our employees to background noise, mga conversations, or mga calls that they aren't even part of. So interruptions from coworkers, activities can, of course, fragment our attention and even slow task completion. Okay. And then lastly, here we have the frequent technical problems, And here you will see yung mga wasted time due to restarting computers, waiting for reconnection. Again, a very common issue in the Philippines kasi nga we have unstable internet, we have computer crashes here and there, or mga software glitches that can cause delays and even our frustration. Okay? So waiting for IT support then or pag-restart ng mga devices disrupts our workflow and breaks our momentum. So all of these things will have an impact sa ating productivity. Now, depends upon what type of interruption that you are experiencing, but you know what's best. And investing on most things that you have control over will at least solve half of the problem. Especially kapag ka mga nawawalang internet, you can have your own yung mobile data mo pwede mong gamitin or kapag ka medyo frequent yung mga power outages, then you can invest sa mga electric generator that are again being sold as I think mga 3,000 to 5,000 yung mga cheapest ones. But if you're looking for heavy mga like yung mga EcoFlow or mga Blue Yeti na mga brand, or if you're going cheap, then meron din mga Chinese brand that are, of course, reliable na din kahit paano. Right? So, in terms of mga kapag mga colleagues, so setting healthy boundaries is as much as possible dapat nagagawa po natin yan. So, you know what's best, you know what's healthy for your professional relationship. Then, of course, setting boundaries and being assertive will really help you out. So, being assertive is a type of personality po na you are able to, really be honest and be open and setting healthy boundaries. And it's not just about promoting yung ating own welfare, but what we're trying to portray as well is that we respect other people. So we listen to them, but then again, we need to go back and impose ano yung healthy for us. Saying no, um, you know, um, and yeah, again, basically just setting boundaries. Okay, so let's move on to the next part. And here we have the tips to reduce interruptions, just aside from what I mentioned. So implement no meeting times or focus hours. Okay. So that's one of which are designating specific blocks of time of each day or week where no meetings are allowed gives employees uninterrupted periods to concentrate on important tasks. So again, you can do yung mga time blockers, you can change your notification to not disturb, or you can turn off your notification or whatnot. So pwede natin gawin yan. Or here, again, use do not disturb signs or indicators. So use visual or digital do not disturb indicators help signal to others that a person is currently focused and should not be interrupted. But fair warning, hindi po natin dapat yan ina-abuse because I've seen a lot of people as well na from 8 to 5, they have their status on do not disturb. Parang hindi ka magpapadisturbo. So, of course, let's just be honest. Because, of course, we also have yung ating responsibility to be a team player. So, if ever talaga merong kailangan po sa atin, then we should be there to help. If ever na meron man din tayong time na pwedeng ilaan para dyan, then let's do that. So let's not have our statuses on do not disturb from start to finish and do that from Monday to Friday. Okay, hindi na po yan siya. Abuse na po yan, basically. Okay, number 3, you have set clear team rules for chat etiquette. So setting boundaries on when and how to use digital chat reduces notification fatigue and unnecessary digital interruptions. Okay, so again, you can set yung mga group chat mo as pwede mong i-mute, pwede mo siyang i-pin so you know what's important for you to check. So kapag kachismisan na mga group chats, then you can just leave it at that. Pero kapag ka mga team chat or siguro kapag when your boss is there in terms of that group chat, then hindi po naman dapat natin tina-turn off yung notifications sa group chat na yan. Yes, those are the tips to reduce interruptions. Now let's move over to our next portion where we'll do our quiz B. So it's very simple po yung gagawin natin dyan. Just like any typical quiz B, the participants will be answering group of questions given by me as the host. You just have to state the color po of the correct answer, and the first participant to answer will be held as a winner. Okay, so pabilisan po ito ng type. Read the question, read the option, and then answer afterwards. Okay? Ready to read your keyboards po? Question number 1 goes like this. A disruption that may come from coworkers, clients, or even superiors, often without prior notice. By the way po, you can answer yung color lang po. Don't have to answer the whole word itself. You can answer red, yellow, white, and blue. Fine by me. Okay, so far we have 11, 12, 13. Wow. We have more than half of you guys. Thank you so much. And we will now show the answer. Right answer po is in-person interruption. So, great job po sa inyo lahat. Well, I haven't checked your answers yet, to be honest with you. So let's have those checked. Okay, so far, tama yung mga sagot natin. Puro red yung nakikita ko. And the first one that got the answer here is Sir Nathaniel Ye with his answer in red. There we go. Thank you so much, po. And of course, everyone else who followed suit. Next question, number 2. Is a major concern in many Philippine provinces, such as electricity outage or internet connectivity. Red, yellow, white, or blue? Is it in-person, digital, environmental, or household distractions? Okay, there we go. So we have here. Okay. Let's now check your answers po. So far, you all have the correct answer. And again, the first one I got the answer here with white is Sir Nathaniel. So that's 2-0. There you go. So for everyone else, let's catch up, you guys. But then again, these are the interruptions due to physical or infrastructural environment, often out of the worker's control. Okay. All right. Next question po. Interruptions or distractions caused by weather, natural occurrences, or due to external factors are called. So we have 13 answers. Well, basically we have more than enough naman din, so we can show the answer now. That answer po, the same as number 2, it is environmental interruptions. Okay? Checking again. Okay, white pa yung masagot natin. Wala pa rin nagbago. So not sure kung sino yung huling sumagot last time. It could be, I don't know. Not sure who got it first this time around, but I'm gonna give it as a bonus. You all got the point. Great job, you guys. All right, number 4. There we go. So all except 1 are the reasons why we need to avoid office distraction or interruptions. We have poor time management, brand awareness, missed deadline, unprofessional image. Red, yellow, white, and blue. Okay, so all of which are reasons why we need to avoid except 1. Ano po yung 1 na yun? Medyo kumonti yung masagot natin this time around, but let's wait until we have more than enough. We have 11 answers. So basically, that's already half of you. There we go. Thank you so much po. Showing the correct answer, it is brand awareness. So these interruptions can create customer distrust and disloyalty to your brand and decrease your brand awareness. All right? But yeah, Let's check your answers here. Red, yellow, red, yellow. So medyo nagkakaroon tayo ng ano, no? Ng mga iba-ibang answer. But yeah, let's check. Yung first na sumagot ng yellow, that is indeed Sir Erwin. There you go. Great job po, Sir Erwin. So meron tayong contender. So we have 2-1. I think we have one more question to go to. There we go. Okay. So question is, help signal to others that a person is currently focused. Don't know what spelling is, and should not be interrupted. In a focus hour, no noon break, no meeting times, or the disturb signs or indicators. All right, let me just change the spelling. There we go. Aha, okay. We have more than enough answers to go by now. We have 14 answers to check. Right answer po is do not disturb sign or indicator. So visual or digital do not disturb indicators help signal to others that a person is currently focused and should not be interrupted. Again, wag po natin abusuhin yung do not disturb na yan or DND. Okay? So I've seen a lot of people really abuse yung status na yan. There we go. Let's check. And the first one got the answer here. Not sure who. But I think it started with I think Sir Nathaniel, do you think? Haven't even been able to check. Yeah, I think so. Sir Nathan, yeah. Indeed, Sir Nathan, yeah. All right. There we go. Thank you all so much. By the end of our activity, ultimately, Sir Nathaniel Yee won this game. There we go. And with that, let's have a short break po for 10 minutes. So it's already 2:02. So let's see each other again at around 2:10 or 2:12. Okay? So break time po. Feel free doing anything you would like to do, but do go back here after 10 minutes. Okay?
Are you a medical professional, an educator, an engineer, or a professional seeking specialized training programs? Stellar Training Consultancy Services is the right training center for you. STCS issues highly government-recognized certification programs that help you as a professional in your career goals. STCS ensures regulatory and statutory compliance to protect you as you skyrocket your career to the top. STCS offers various training modes such as face-to-face sessions, blended sessions, and virtual sessions to ensure the accessibility and availability of the training programs. All training programs offered by Stellar Training Consultancy Services are well thought and created professionally to ensure reliability and retention among participants. Stellar Training Consultancy Services, bringing excellence to professionals.
Sa Stellar Training, lahat ay kaya. Mga kursong abot kaya damang-dama. Professional na programa parang saya. Gusto mo ba kabayan na nandito pa? Sa bawat araw bagong kaalaman man, kami nandyan para sa iyong tagumpay. Kahit saan basta tuwid ang daan, sa Stellar ka tutok at abot kamay. O Stellar Training, tuloy-tuloy lang ang serbisyong apat kaya't walang saglay. Oh, kasamahan natin dito di mawawala. Sa bawat hakbang tayo'y sabay-sabay. Lahat ng pangarap dito nagpupugay. Sama-sama taasan ating mga kamay. Para sa kinabukasan di magpapahuli. Sa Stellar kami magbibigay ng gawi. Mga kaalaman, bihasang natutunan. Sa Stellar ikaw ay talagang mahusay. Mga pagsasanay na talagang kawili. Sa bawat hakbang ay talagang nagbubunyi. O Stellar Training, tuloy-tuloy lang ang serbisyong apat kaya't walang sablay. Oh, kasamahan natin dito di mawawala. Sa bawat hakbang tayo'y sabay-sabay. Ang serbisyong apat kaya't walang sablay. Oh, kasamahan natin dito di mawawala. Sa bawat hakbang tayo'y sabay-sabay. Lahat ng pangarap ito nagpupugay. Sama-sama taasan ating mga kamay. Para sa kinabukasan di magpapahuli. Sa Stellar kami magbibigay ng gawi. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. Sa Stellar Training, lahat ay kaya. Mga kursong abot kaya damang-dama. Professional na programa parang saya. Gusto mo ba kabayan na nandito pa? Sa bawat araw bagong kaalaman man, kami nandyan para sa iyong tagumpay. Kahit saan basta tuwid ang daan, sa Stellar ka tutok at abot kamay. O Stellar Training, tuloy-tuloy lang ang serbisyong apat kaya't walang saglay. Oh, kasamahan natin dito di mawawala. Sa bawat hakbang tayo'y sabay-sabay. pugay. Sama-sama taasan ating mga kamay. Para sa kinabukasan di magpapahuli. Sa Stellar kami magbibigay ng gawi. Mga kaalaman, bihasang natutunan. Sa Stellar ikaw ay talagang mahusay. Mga pagsasanay na talagang kawili. Sa bawat hakbang ay talagang nagbubunyi. O Stellar Training, tuloy-tuloy lang. Ang serbisyong abot kaya't walang sablay. Oo, kasamahan natin dito di mawawala. Sa bawat hakbang tayo'y sabay-sabay. O Stellar Training, tuloy-tuloy lang. Ang serbisyong abot kaya't walang sablay. O kasamahan natin dito di mawawala. Sa bawat hakbang tayo'y sabay-sabay. Lahat ng pangarap ito nagpupugay. Sama-sama taasan ating mga kamay. Para sa kinabukasan di magpapahuli. Sa Stellar kami magbibigay ng gawi.
All right. And now we're back live po, ilusyon lahat, and would like to check if you're also here back with me. Hello po. Kamusta po yung break time po natin? Hopefully nakapag-merienda po tayo kahit paano. Okay, there we go. I'm seeing a face already. Thank you so much po. And let us resume. Hello po, Sir Rainier. All right, so moving over to our last portion of our discussion where we'll talk about common etiquette issues in offices, right? And of course, while these are the daily behaviors that can affect harmony and professionalism in the workplace, we need to learn office courtesy and etiquette because it helps create a respectful, productive, and harmonious work environment, especially in diverse and often crowded Philippine office settings. And here you will see we have loud phone use, gossiping, unclean shared spaces, email tone, and respecting space. So start first, with, of course, with all yung loud phone use. And here, speaking loud in the phone, especially in open plan offices, can disturb coworkers who are concentrating. Indeed, kapag mga kasama nating who are speaking loud in the phone and mga spaces where it's open, na walang mga cubicle yung ating mga workspaces or mga shared workspaces, can of course easily distract coworkers who are focusing on tasks that require concentration, even if the conversation is a brief. A loud voice can of course interrupt yung someone else's thought process or yung kanya mga deep work na mga session. So mga best practices here, of course, is always use a calm voice or take calls in private rooms. Diba? But yeah, and here example, itong mga employees natin in BPOs or mga LGUs are reminded to take personal calls in pantry areas, not at their desks that could disrupt the workflow of our other colleagues. Again, aside from that, kapag you really need to take the call as soon as possible, you need to speak calmly at a moderate volume na hindi nakaka-interrupt sa ating mga kasama. And again, if at all possible, use designated phone rooms or mga quiet pods or mga pantry areas for personal calls. And you also need to consider mga paggagamit ng mga headsets for work-related calls na hindi naka-loudspeak yung ating mga cellphones, yung ating mga laptops that could again interrupt the the workflow of our other colleagues. Okay. And the next we have gossiping or yung mga maritesing as Sir Nathaniel would call it. And here spreading rumors or talking about others behind their backs undermines the trust and professionalism. So indeed po kapag when we're talking about our colleagues behind their backs, spreading rumors or pagdi-discuss ng mga unverified na information, will then undermine the trust and teamwork. And of course, in Philippine offices, this behavior is often referred to as the marites culture, diba? Or a slang term for gossiping. So again, it happens kasi nga social bonding is natural, and some employees seek camaraderie through sharing news. And sometimes friendships are built if they have one common enemy, or kapag they're all aiming for the same thing. But in the Marcos culture, if you all hate the same person, then nagkakaroon na kayo ng parang, um, you know, a group, so to say. Parang ganyan, for anti-ganitong tao. Right? Or it could be the lack of proper communication channels for concerns and may push employees to discuss issues informally. So this is what happens kapag walang mga proper feedback channels yung, it could be a new tool, it could be a person na hindi niya nagusto. So kapag wala silang proper channel to express their opinions, then people will be pushed to talk about other people or a system or whatever na nagkakause siya ng issues with the people informally. Okay? So, yung kanya nagiging impact, of course, it erodes the workplace trust, it creates tension and even potential na mga conflicts or mga disputes among colleagues, and it even reduces professionalism and the morale of people. So best practices here: address concerns directly or via proper HR channels. If you really have concern with someone, you can use yung mga grievances procedure po ninyo na ginagamit ng HR, or that's being pushed by the HR in terms of policy or procedure. If you have a problem with someone, and if you have or if you know yung proper escalation path. So usually dyan kapag ka mga BPO industry, you as an employee can raise concerns to your team lead, and then if it goes beyond sa escalation, it can go to your manager, then to the department head, and then you know it could be the CEO or whoever, right? So aside from that, you can also promote positive communication and team building activities that do not rely on gossip. So if you can connect the people not because of shared hate or common hate of someone, then having team building activities would really help to connect people outside of the Maritas culture. And as an example here, Mates culture as slang for gossiping in offices is discouraged by promoting positive communication. Okay? And then number three, we have uncleaned na mga shared spaces. So leaving dirty dishes, trash, or clutter in common areas like pantries, comfort rooms, or meeting room is inconsiderate. Of course, and that is indeed a given. Kasi kapag nineglect natin yung mga cleanliness in shared spaces or shared areas, such as again yung mga pantries, comfort rooms, or meeting rooms, is indeed inconsiderate. So mga dirty dishes, trash, or mga cluttered na mga, or clutter show a lack of respect for colleagues who share the space. So it always starts from us, right? Na kapag if we want to have something changed sa ating workplace culture, let's all begin with ourselves, right? So again, it happens because employees may assume others will clean up after them, or di kaya yung kanilang mga janitor if they have one, or the lack of awareness, or if not time management, siguro hindi sila nakapaglinis dahil kulang na sa time. So yeah, that one as well. Or mga busy schedules can of course cause people to overlook simple cleaning tasks again. And yeah, the impact of this, it creates a unhygienic na work environment. It could be smelly, di ba? Kapag may nilalangan ng mga food na dyan, or hindi natatapon yung mga basura. And it even increases the potential for conflicts over cleanliness, or it even lowers yung office morale and perception of professionalism towards each other. So best practices here: clean up after use, or yung sundin natin yung tawag dyan, um forgot what's that called. Claygo. Yeah, I think you're all familiar with that already. Claygo. So meaning clean as you go. So yeah, we have that implemented sa aming pantry na if you eat there, you need to follow Claygo. So clean as you go, or at least when you go outside the pantry, dapat malinis din siya. So Claygo na. Um, I don't know, methodology or something. Or you can also encourage a culture of shared responsibility and accountability. As an example here, municipal halls place posters reminding staff panatilihing malinis ang ating kusina or at CR. Something like, just to remind people, you know, even if this kind of thing shouldn't have been reminded, but just for the sake of reminding people, let's have those posted. Okay. And then number four, we have email tone. So using all caps or blunt phrases may come off as rude, even unintentionally. So of course po, kapag mga emails na gumagamit ng mga all caps, abrupt na mga commands, do this or do that, parang ganyan, wala na can you please, or hindi tayo gumagamit ng mga modal verbs like could, should, would, then that could create a scene or a scenario where hindi tayo nagiging hindi tayo polite. Or overtly blunt phrases may, of course, unintentionally come off again as rude or di kaya aggressive. So written communication lacks nonverbal cues, so hindi na nakikita yung facial expression ng tao. So tone is easily misinterpreted. So again, it happens because employees may be in a hurry or under stress. So kayang written communication is affected, or there could be a lack of awareness about how tone is perceived in written communication. So again, the proper use of modal verbs is what I would say, especially I'm working with ano, mga British, and British people are very polite sa mga emails nila. So we have to reciprocate. So that's why I always use mga could, would, should. Could you please do this? Could you please do that? Would you be able to help us out? Ganyan mga bagay, not in a way that it is commanding, but rather it's sort of like transactional. Ganyan. Or it could be also be caused by cultural tendency to be direct without intending to offend. So may mga culture talaga na mahilig sa direct na communication, not beating around the bush. So even if their intent is to, you know, in a good way, but it can be misconstrued as rude dahil nga the difference of the culture, right? So again, these are the common issues as to why these things happen. Now, the impact of what it's going to cause is that it creates tension or misunderstandings between colleagues because yung nga, 'di ba, difference sa ng pag-intindi sa mga phrases, and it can even harm relationships with clients or partners kapag we're being too direct, and may even require additional follow-ups to clarify intention, which would then waste our time. So the best practices here: use polite greetings, clear wording, and close with respect. Okay, so very important po na may mga best regards, mga respectfully yours, those kind of closing. But what I would use is best regards, and all the best or many thanks. Yun yung mga usual na closing ko sa mga email. So again, you can also avoid yung mga all caps, yung mahilig makipag-communicate na naka all capital, because parang kang sinisigawan, or gumagamit ng mga exclamation point. Depends upon the context of the words or sa kanyang mga sentences, but let's avoid yung mga politeness. What we call that is yung proofread your emails. You can even let, siguro kung gumagamit kayo ng Gemini or CC or yeah, ChatGPT, you can copy yung mga emails po ninyo. You can paste it there and then bigyan natin ng prompt, proofread my email. Or you can even download yung, I'm not sure if you've already heard about this, but Grammarly. May gumagamit pa ng Grammarly dito. Kahit yung free version lang. So Grammarly is an extension sa Google Chrome na pwede mong i-add that would always check lahat ng tinatype mo, and makikita mo dyan kung tama yung mga spelling, tama ba yung mga ginagamit nating mga terms based on what you're trying to say. So Grammarly is going to help you with that. Or again, you can copy your email, send po natin sa ChatGPT or CC or Gemini to check your email, and pwede pa niyang i-adjust yung mga wordings mo to sound polite. or at least two, rearrange your words para talagang tama yung thought process natin. Okay? So that I can propose. But yeah, example here as well, instead of send it now, you can say, may I kindly request a document today. Diba? So malaki yung kaibahan niya. Send it now, it's being too direct, it's very commanding. But when you say, may I kindly request a document today, it's polite, it's professional, and it's not overly too direct sa ating mga request. Okay? So you can do that. And of course, we have number 5, respecting space. So encroaching on desks, borrowing without asking, or standing too close violates personal boundaries. And that is indeed true. And I think you can think of people na siguro nawawalan ng respect sa personal boundaries. But indeed, violating personal workspace boundaries, such as, again, encroaching on desks, taking items without permission, or standing too close, can make colleagues uncomfortable, or even you uncomfortable. So mga BPOs leads to closer proximity between you and your colleagues. And of course, yung having informal work culture make people feel comfortable borrowing items without even asking. So kapag ka nakita sa desk mo, meron kang ano dyan, tape or mga stapler or mga pentel pen, then people will just come and go, get it without asking you. And then whenever you need it, you have to shout, and whoever who has seen my this or my yung ganyan kong gamit, and then someone will say, hey, I took it earlier because you weren't there. I took the courtesy and borrowing it without permission. Parang ganyan. And of course, the lack of awareness about personal space and boundaries. So perhaps the people view you as a person who is very open, who always says yes to everything, meaning nagiging passive na tayo as a person. So once you are demonstrating an assertive personality where you set healthy boundaries, but of course, merong respect towards other people, then people will, of course, respect yung boundaries natin. And of course, we'll always ask for permission. Okay? So the impact of this kapag hindi natin nagagawa yung ganyan, of course, again, it can lead to discomfort or stress for employees. It can lead to conflicts or reduced na collaboration because of this mga, hindi na vent out the mga feelings of frustration, maybe towards yourself or towards someone else. And it can even reduce feelings of safety and respect in the workspace. So best practices here, ask before borrowing and avoid hovering over someone else's work. Parang lagi ka nakaaligid sa trabaho ng ibang tao. So from that, you can clearly communicate workspace limit and shared cubicles or mga offices. So as an example here in government offices, shared cubicles require added effort to communicate workspace limits respectfully. And yeah, that is indeed true. Okay, so those are again the common etiquette issues in the offices, all of which we can do something about, but it all starts with you setting healthy boundaries towards the people around you, not coming off as rude, but being assertive in a way na you are respectful sa kanila, but then again, you always have to put forth yung ating welfare because it's for your own mental health and of course people to respect you as well. Okay, there we go. And with that, just one final question to you guys. Which type of interruption bothers you more, a pop-up message or a coworker tapping on you in the shoulder? So ano raw po yung pinaka nakaka-bother sa inyo na interruption? May pop-up message or may coworker tayong kuwait na kuwait sa atin or tapping on your shoulder? So Rainier, we have coworker tapping because kapag humingi ng tulong, it could be time consuming. Miss Francis, we have pop-up message. Yep. Miss Angelina, pop-up message din po. For me, I mean, I'm working remotely, so pop-up message. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm with a pop-up message na na group. There you go. So, I guess that would be it in terms of our training po. Hopefully, you have learned something about this. Probably, there are stuff here na alam na po natin, but it's always good for us to be reminded of these things. Now, really would like to highlight yung mga, being proactive in terms of interruption. Again, mga generators natin, you can really invest in that. You can use it personally, on your other, mga leisure natin, or you can even use it, in your workspace. Okay? Mga noise canceling headphones natin is also for you, especially if you're calling clients. It would be good for them to only hear your voice without other mga sounds or mga noise, 'di ba? Yung mga barking of dogs, mga sinisirang daan sa labas, okay naman sana pero sinisira pa rin. You know, those kind of things. And what else? Yeah, kapag you are using Teams, Slack, Viber, gamitin po natin yung do not disturb na option, right? Para hindi tayo ma-disturb in terms of times where you are focusing on some things. Time blockers po, very important din po yan. Set po tayo ng mga meetings sa ating calendar where you are the only participant so that you are reminded to focus on specific tasks na dapat mong gawin. And you can really allocate some time for those, especially if they are that urgent and important. Okay, and Eisenhower matrix po, please use that, okay? I guess that will be all for this training. Hopefully, again, you have learned something from this, and this has been Managing Workplace Interruptions and Office Courtesy training. Now, do you have any questions, Paul? Because I'm going to be giving you some time to, to ask questions if you have one. If not, we can move to the closure of this training you know, and by the way po, sa ano po pala natin yung mga certificates natin, it will all be shared within the day, or if not, it will be around 3 p.m. exact. And again, if you're interested in taking more of our trainings, because we have tons more to to train you guys with. May mga record keeping po kami, may mga ISO trainings, may mga even mga specific na government laws that you would Facebook page by checking with us on facebook.com/STSAsia. And we also have a new website po that I'm na-check out na po natin. But just to be safe, I'm gonna be sending that to you via the chat because doon na po natin ginagawa yung mga registration. Alright? So you will see here yung mga self-paced po namin, yung mga virtual sessions, yung mga upcoming, tsaka yung mga prices niya per session. And if you are feeling a bit introvert na you would like to be the only person at training with you, the material and the videos, then you can also do that as well. We call that the self-paced programs. Okay? So if there are no questions po, let's have all our cameras turned on for we're going to have our final photo op. Okay, so this will serve as your evidence as well that you were all here, and this picture will be posted sa aming page. So feel free reacting po and following us on our Facebook page as well. Okay, there we go po. Thank you so much. Let's have the screenshot and let us give our best smiles po. Okay, there you go. It's in 3, 2, and 1. All right, there we go po. Thank you all so much, you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe. God bless, and hope to see you all again in future trainings here with SSES. God bless po. Thanks, you guys. Bye, bye, bye. Thank you po. Thank you. All right.